Manager Show along with our Sparta Town Manager, Ryan Wilmuth. And first and foremost, Ryan, glad to have you back with us. I know you've been under the weather for a little while, but glad to have you back with us.
Absolutely, Mayor. Thank you so much. Had to go in and get a little tune-up, but I'm back in full swing, so it's good to be here.
Our man is back at the job, and we're so thankful we've got him. We had our our monthly meeting here in March, on March the 2nd, and we had a lot of information that was passed out there during the meeting, and we want to share some of that with you right now. I think first and foremost is I want everybody to realize that we had a smoke test done, and a lot of people was kind of didn't get that word a little bit or whatever, but we did a smoke test on our sewer system, Ryan, and if you'll update everybody on how that went and the progress and what we're going to do here in the future with that.
Certainly, and the weather has certainly been a challenge for that test to work as effectively as we needed to. The weather had to be pretty optimal, and we had established a few dates that just didn't work out, but we called a break in the weather, and the engineering company, the Lane Group, is actually the ones that performed that test. We identified some areas of concern that we had seen over the past couple months. They came out and pumped smoke throughout our wastewater system, and we were essentially looking for it to come out of areas that it shouldn't have been. So out of the ground or out of joints and connections in the wastewater system that shouldn't typically be there. So what they found is we did sustain some pretty significant damage to our wastewater system. They marked those with green paint or green flag. So if a green flag showed up in your yard, please don't remove that, but also don't be alarmed. We certainly took time to investigate each of those areas to make sure there were no safety or health hazards, but that does identify an area that there is some disruption. So the engineer got all those videos and pictures and from that study. He is going back and he will review those and start breaking down a plan to address those. Once he's done that, he'll present it back to myself and the folks with the earthquake program, and we will review the cost and start developing a timeline for complete resolution of that program. So certainly an enlightening test, but I feel much better after having the test that we didn't have major areas, just some right. Minor things that can be addressed.
And again, a lot of this damage is probably related to the earthquake that we had in August last year, the 5.1 magnitude earthquake, and this is something that needed to be done and needed to be tested for the citizens and the safety of our community.
Absolutely.
So we will be doing some work on that, and again, if you have a green flag or anything like that in your yard that has been placed there, please leave that so we know that that is an area of concern. I want to reiterate to our citizens out there, we did have a slight water leak the other night here in town, and a lot of citizens were without water during the course of the night, and then the next day they had to be without water, but they did not get the alert from the all call that we do on our blackboard. We have an alert system that's set up at the town hall, and you as citizens of the town of Sparta can sign up for this in numerous ways to get alert messages whenever there is so for instance, a water outage, a sewer work, road construction, any of those kind of things. And we request that if you haven't already done so, swing by the town hall or give us a call at the town office. You can sign up to get these alert messages via email, text message, or by phone. You'll get a phone call, and this will update you and let you know when services are being done, how long they're going to be done. I try to keep everybody updated on social media through my page also, but these are just ways that we're trying to get the information out to you, the citizens, so you know what's going on. And we had a little bit of confusion there, some folks not having known about it that are new to our area, hadn't signed up for these alerts, so they were kind of stunned when the water went out and we were getting flooded with some calls there. But I just want to encourage each and every one of you, update your information if you need to. This is a free service. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's just for your benefit. In our meeting the other night, we had Lisa Bottomley come down from the Chamber of Commerce of Economic Development, or Allegheny, Economic Development, the new chapter up there. She gave us a quick update, and some fine folks from the rescue squad. Jason Long, the chief at the Allegheny County Rescue Squad, come down and simply given an amazing presentation of what the squad actually does here in our community. He did the same thing at the county last month, but Ryan, you have a backfield in this, and you know exactly what he was talking about that night.
Certainly, and just want to thank all the members of the rescue squad, our fire department's public safety. His presentation, Chief Long's presentation, certainly demonstrated the value that they add to our community. They're constantly responding to emergencies, providing services to citizens, and really for free. They're 100% volunteer, and they miss meals and events with family to get out and respond to calls that our citizens have. And certainly we thank them for that, thank them for their dedication, and understand their needs for funding and donations, and certainly the town will review that as we look at our budgetary items.
And I know that Chief Long had mentioned that if it wasn't for the citizens of this town and this county, the rescue squad would have been in deep trouble this year, because the donations really kept them afloat and kept them going. And that says a lot about our community and about you out there in TV land right there, our citizens here in Sparta and Allegheny. We did have, of course, I mentioned Lisa Bottomley. And folks, I think that we're on the edge of coming out of this COVID crisis, this pandemic. Many of you have already had your shots and so on and so forth, and we're starting to see states release sanctions a little bit and everything like that. So I think we're on the cusp of coming out of this, and we're going to have to bust forward. And with that, the Chamber is trying to get their stuff together to where we're going to be ready to capitalize on this when we bust out, Ryan. And I think for our merchants, this is much needed.
Yes.
For our community, it's much needed. For our kids that play sports, it's much needed. And I just hope everybody is ready to come out of this with a big bang right here.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. The numbers are finally trending down for once in what seems like a long time, but a year. So I think you're right, Mayor. I think we've got to get prepared to make a huge rebound. And the Chamber is certainly assisting with that, and I want to thank those folks for staying in contact with the town and the county and trying to push forward cohesively so that we all come out better in the end of this thing.
And all our merchants deserve kudos too for hanging in there.
Yeah.
Our restaurants here in town that have catered to the folks so well and bent over backwards to make sure that they can still enjoy a meal out when possible and get drive through and takeouts and all those kind of things. So kudos to everybody across the board. One of the things that I like to do as mayor is to recognize our athletes every chance I get, whether it be a team effort, whether it be an individual. And John Cox deserves some recognition, and we give him a little certificate there to recognize him. First Allegheny swimmer, I believe, to finish in the top 3 in the state. So that was pretty good. Double bronze medal winner.
Yeah.
Could be the next Michael Phelps. I mentioned that to him. But I just want to give kudos to him. And those are some important things. Recognizing our athletes, building some encouragement during this time is huge. I encourage all parents, all coaches that are coaching ball to encourage our kids. I mean, this is still a difficult time for them. Nobody's ever went through this, and so a little bit of encouragement goes a long way. We have some upcoming meetings that we're going to be going through here in the month of March. In fact, this is probably our busiest month of the year right here for meeting wise. We do have some budget meetings, and I'd like for you to elaborate on that. And then we have our monthly joint meeting that we'll have with the county on the end of the month. So I'm going to let you elaborate a little bit to the public what we're going to be doing in this budget meeting coming up.
Okay. So the next 2 Mondays, beginning next Monday from 5 to 7 out Town Hall, myself, our finance officer, and the town council, including you, Mayor, we're going to sit down and start looking at our forecasted budget for next year. Kind of recap where we're at with this budget. This was a budget that was hugely impacted by COVID. So we need to make sure that we're planning appropriately for next year. We're going to review and look at some projects that are much needed around town so that we keep providing the services that you, the citizens, expect and want. So it's a good opportunity for town administration and the council to come together, look at the numbers, put our heads together, and really lay out a plan for next year and then the next 5 years. So that's what we'll be doing. The meetings are open to the public. You're certainly welcome to attend. I kind of geek out on this kind of stuff, but if you like numbers, come join us.
There'll be limited seating, of course,
Sure.
still available in the town hall, and actually our town hall is under renovations right now as part of trying to get some new things going on. We have a couple other things, and part of these things that we'll be talking about in the budget and so on and so forth. We're getting ready to pave a new parking lot, and it should be done here by the end of the week, I believe. Is that right, Ryan?
That's correct. The parking lot at 18 and Evergreen Street was able to be included into the streetscape project. So we were able to complement streetscape with a nice new parking lot. They are actually out there today doing some preliminary work, getting the base ready, and should have asphalt down by the end of the week. And then we'll come back and stripe that, and we'll add some lighting in partnership with Blue Ridge to make sure that it's a safe and very visible area. But it's exciting. The town certainly is in need of more parking. And again, once we are able to reopen and have some events, this will complement streetscape very nicely.
We also have something coming along that's going to be put into our town parking lot right there at the ABC parking lot, if you will. Something that has never been happening here in Allegheny County and in Sparta. And I'll let you elaborate on that some.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple months ago, but Blue Ridge Energy, on behalf of the town, actually applied for a charging station for an electric car. We were awarded that grant. We found that out a couple weeks ago. So Blue Ridge is in the process of getting that charger. We've identified the parking lot on Main Street beside the ABC store. We've identified the location inside that parking lot, and once they have the charger, we'll work on getting it installed, and folks that choose to drive electric cars can now join us.
That's something amazing that you never see it. I never thought I'd see the day of that, but here we are in that day and time. One other thing before we sign off here is we have some events coming up. A crosswalk in April that was approved by the council, and a young man that will be carrying a cross through the town there. I believe that's again April 2nd, I believe. Correct. So we just want to make you aware of that. We do have our monthly meeting, regular scheduled monthly meeting on April. The first Tuesday in April there next month, so you're encouraged to that. And I encourage all citizens to come to all meetings because that's the way you get to voice your opinion. That's the way you catch up on what's going on, whether it be town or county. I encourage each and every one of you to attend your meetings because what goes on in those meetings directly concerns you. and we're always here to help you out with anything. Ryan, like I said, it's good to have you back. Do you have anything else you want to bring out here in our show today?
No, Mayor, I just want to thank you and the council for allowing me some time off to get my tune up. Glad to be back, and it is going to be a busy next couple months as we start planning for next year. So looking forward to that.
We have 11 days till spring, folks, so we're almost out of this winter window. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Charlie Scott and all he does for us as filming our meetings, putting our show together here, producing this. What a great asset it is to have him and his staff right here in our community right here doing these things for us. And this is what enables us to get you the information that you need. So if you have a chance to support ACTV, I encourage you to do that. Sponsor some shows, sponsor some athletics when they get back around. But we are very thankful for that. I'm very thankful to be the mayor of this town, and will continue to stand up for the citizens of the town of Sparta in any way that I possibly can. That is what you have put me here for, and that is what I'm going to do. So with that being said, for Ryan Wilmoth, our town manager, I'm Mayor Wes Brinegar, and we'll see you next time on the Sparta Mayor Manager Show.